Swell Season Surf Radio is recorded by the Newsstand Studio at Rockefeller Center in the heart of Manhattan and is distributed by Wax.Radio. Hello and welcome to Swell Season Surf Radio. I'm your host for this episode, Tyler Brewer. A native from Melbourne, Australia, Davina Grincevicius relocated to New York City over 12 years ago and currently resides in Rockaway Beach. Her passion for surfing, shooting film, and building community inspired her to launch the Women's Surf Film Festival over 8 years ago. In that time, the festival has grown and is now a week-long celebration of films, panel discussions, art shows, and much, much more. It inspires and encourages surfers from many different backgrounds and has had a positive ripple effect on the New York surf community. The festival is from September 6th to the 12th, taking place in Rockaway Beach. I had an opportunity to sit down with Davina and talk about this year's upcoming festival and why this is a not-to-miss event. The festival is free and open to the public. Anyone can go. As if awesome movies weren't enough, Swell Season will be hosting a live Q&A with the New York Times writer and recent guest Diane Cardwell on Thursday, September 9th at the Rockaway Beach Surf Club. So come on down. It should be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great conversation. And if you want to go to the festival, go check out their website. There's a whole calendar there of all the events, art shows, film screenings. They've got some awesome films. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Really highly recommend you check it out. So go to www.womensurffilmfestival.com to check it out. And what follows is our conversation with Davina. We hope you enjoy the chat, and we hope to see you at the festival this upcoming week, and we'll catch you all down the line. Woo. So this year then, what do we got in store? Let's kind of go through this.
Where do you begin? So this year I'm really excited. I feel like this is going to be the best. When I say the best, I mean we've packed in more events and activities than we ever have before. When I say best, I mean we've got an amazing artist, surf photographer, Amanda Prifty. She's come from Sri Lanka, but she is originally from America, New York, Massachusetts.
Nice.
Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And we're also for the first time hosting a single fin group art exhibition to raise money for a walk on water.
So, all right, let's dive into this. What is the single fin art exhibit? What does this consist of?
Absolutely. So we invited 19 renowned American artists from across the nation to participate in this charity auction. So we've asked everyone all fine artists to paint and draw on single fins, and we will be hosting an online silent auction that starts off on Monday, the 6th of September.
Oh, wow. So how can people go to participate in that?
Absolutely. Well, funny you say that. Today we are launching the website so people can go and have a look at their art. And then as of Monday at 12 o'clock, the silent auction bidding will begin.
See, That's the thing. I would have gone for the I would have done this for you with the, do I hear 10, 10, 10, do I hear 20, 20, 20? We're going to do next time we have to do that type of auction.
Yeah, they're fun.
I think those are a lot of fun and get people all psyched up.
Yes.
And then you can also be like, I got someone on the line for 150. What are you guys going to do about it?
Well, I think one of the challenges is I want to get more people involved that's not living in New York. So
yeah, no, I mean it's awesome. I mean it's so. Who can you name a few of the artists?
Absolutely, we've got. There's my phone. I'm sorry. That's gonna happen, right?
Choo choo.
So we've got Gregory Siff, and we've got Aaron Miller Ray. Andy Davis.
Oh, you got Andy Davis?
We got Andy Davis, thanks to
cool.
Walt at the Montauk Beach House,
Nice.
who's been really helpful in this process. Danielle Lyons from Textured Waves.
Nice.
We've got Ashley Allen from Rockaway Beach. We've got Keone from Rockaway. We've got Christina Young. I mean, Karen Ingram. There's so many. Joe Vickers. Lauren Reimer. I mean, we just have... And everyone's pieces are just amazing. Pat Connellan.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So they're painted on, or they're doing whatever they want to the fin as well?
Yeah.
That's
Most
awesome.
of it's all painted. Christina, oh my God, Christina Young from New Jersey. Her work's beautiful. So it's gorgeous. Like, so when you come on Monday at the Surf Club, at 5:00, we're hosting the artist opening reception.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be for both Amanda and the Fin Show.
Nice.
We'll have all the artists, some of the artists there for the Fin Show, and Amanda there. Her pieces are all, her show is titled East to West.
So what does that entail? Like, what sort of photos or art are we going to see at that show?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, her show is basically a collection of her work from her journey, starting out as a photographer, moving to Sri Lanka and coming back home. So her work is inclusive of very warm climate and cold climate, waves, and
I like the
everyone.
contrast.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's a really amazing show. So she will be there to sell her pieces and answer any questions that people have.
And then what movie is screened? What's the opening movie? What gets to be the opening movie? Because that's always a big statement I found with film festivals. Like, it's always like, what is going to be that one that sets the tone for the rest of the festival?
Absolutely. It's a film called, it's just titled The Artist. So Sierra Learback. She's an Australian surfer.
Yeah.
Believe she's 14 years old. So the film is by a filmmaker named Bruna, and I'm gonna have to ask you how to pronounce her name because I'm terrible at pronouncing names. But
Well, you're Australian. There's a little bit of leeway with it because you guys always ruin it. Arcangelo.
Arcangelo, that's
Yeah,
right.
there you go.
So Bruna did a series of films called The Longboard Women, and it's a project where she covered also like Cassia Meador and a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And another film of hers is also in the festival, Ashley Lloyd, who's
I
the
love
surf
Ashley.
pianist.
She's amazing.
So I couldn't say no to having at least two of her films. So Sierra's film is beautiful. I mean, she's just such a inspiring surfer. It follows her lifestyle. It covers her, in a Noosa longboarding surf competition.
Nice.
And then she's talking about her home, her growing up, and boards that she loves to, ride, and being an Australian and seeing just Noosa and all that just brings me home a little bit. But
So a little sentimentalism.
But I will definitely talk a little bit more about the films and why I selected what we did this year, and definitely there is some continuity to why we did what we did this year.
Let's go into that. What is that? Why? How did you pick the films? What's the overarching theme?
The theme comes halfway through the year. It's like I always have made it that we only show films that have been created within that last year because I feel like so much changes with the culture and environment, and there's themes. There's just the world is changing, and it's always seems to align up with what comes out that year.
Yeah.
And Girls Can't Surf was definitely something I just
Yeah.
had to get my hands on.
It's been a process getting it too, hasn't it?
A little.
We had to get a little creative to figure out how to screen it, you know.
Yes.
But it's pretty awesome that you were able to get this film.
A huge call out to your partner in crime, Karen. So she was in Australia for a little bit, and she made a post that she was doing an interview with the director, Chris, and I just texted her straight away. So that's where it started, and she's been wonderful getting it to us. It's just, I watched it thankfully through the Tribeca Film Festival, and I couldn't move from my seat. It was just tears and laughter, and for those that don't know about the film, it's a feature film that came out in 2020, and it really covers surf culture in the 80s and rides you right through to the 90s, and what really professional surfing, what these women went through to get it to where it is now. And my God, it's crazy.
It's inspiring.
Inspiring.
It's inspiring. It's also frustrating in some ways to watch, because you see so many. One, you see from a surf nerd's perspective, I look at that movie and I'm like, God, there's so much to mine here. There's so many incredible stories that they just are only able to go over, glance over, because there's so much packed into the film. But this one is just like, it's just frustrating. Surf media and surf history, I feel like, has missed out on these inspiring stories and these women who, Pauline Menser is one of the most under-celebrated professional surfers of all time, and what she's had to overcome to win a world title with rheumatoid arthritis, like no male surfer had to deal with that sort of stuff. The closest I can think of is Tom Carroll, maybe, winning Pipe Masters with learning his sister dying the day before. That's the only thing I could think of that's in that category that Pauline had to overcome. Yeah. So to me, like, this movie is super important. I think anyone who surfs or follows professional surfing particularly should come and watch this. No matter what gender you are or anything, like, this movie's important.
I feel like, well, that's sort of the start of the theme for this year. It's if you've just started surfing and, you get to see a lot of great films that are coming out in the last year or so, or back a couple, people sometimes don't know who's been surfing back in the 80s and 90s. Yeah. And these women ripped, and it's just so inspiring. And also the fact that, it was a different time and era where it wasn't so equal, and they didn't get a great platform, and sponsorship was unheard of unless you had to wear a hot, tiny bikini. Yeah. And I mean, that was even more accentuated back then.
Well, they had bikini contests at the surf contest, and the models for the bikini contest got better deals than the professional women surfers. Like, so ridiculous.
So crass. And some of the interviews that you'll see in this documentary, it's laughable at how men saw women back then, especially when they were like just as good at surfing. And I think it's just a threat. I think they were threatened. But that's really important to see where we've come from. And that's why there's a good mix this year of, let's go back and have a look and see where we've come from for women surfing professionally. And now let's see what women are doing now. Yeah. And what are some of the young girls, how do they see where things are now? And that's why, coming back to Sierra, who's 14, and there's another film in here I'll talk about, but they're really young girls. It's such a great contrast. It's a great contrast.
It's really like, you can see the progression, which is awesome. That is so cool that you were able to do that with the selection of films. Yes. That's definitely recommended to come see every movie, by the way, everyone listening.
Thank you. There's lots.
Yeah. So what else we got on the in terms of films here?
Absolutely.
What else fits into this arc?
We have the two from Bruna, the Ashley Lloyd. I'm really excited. I think there's not enough women. I think there's not enough women shaping boards. Yeah. And there are more so, but we're just not hearing about it. So I really love hearing and seeing her story.
A former guest on this show as well. Yes. And And a great musician, too.
Oh, I didn't know
Oh
that.
my gosh, yeah. She's